You have been doing everything right. The practice before sleep. The picture held steady. The words said warm, exactly the way you were taught to say them. And you have woken up again in the same life. Not once, not for a week. Some of you, for years. So tonight, one correction small on the page, enormous in the body, and it changes almost everything that comes after it. You have been calling this stuck. Stuck is not a condition happening to you. Stuck is not a verdict on how well you did the practice. Stuck is a place, and you are standing in it. It has a name. It's called the doorway. You know this place. You've lived in it so long you stopped noticing the address. One foot in the old life, the job, the apartment, the version of your story that still explains you. One foot in the new one, the life you picture so clearly at night, you could describe the light in it. Every night you build the new rooms. Every day you go back and dust the old ones. You check. You measure. Some small, tired part of you keeps asking the only question Stuck ever asks. Is it working yet? Here is what nobody tells you about a doorway. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. A doorway is not a wall. Nothing at all is blocking you. By definition, a doorway is open. So if nothing is blocking you, why does it feel like the hardest place you've ever stood? And here is the part that matters more. The room on the other side of it was never waiting to see if you'd earned your way in. It's already warm. It has been warm this entire time you've been standing here deciding. Let yourself picture this for a moment without trying to make it mean anything yet. Somewhere is doing a lot of quiet work in that sentence. The room on the other side of this exact doorway is already finished. The temperature is already right. A lamp is already lit in exactly the corner you would have chosen. Nobody in that room is checking whether you've done enough to deserve to walk in. It was never a prize behind a locked door. It's a room that's been ready, a little patient, a little amused, waiting for you to simply notice the door was never locked. So here, tonight, is all I'm going to ask of you. It's smaller than you expect. That's the point. Just notice you're standing in it. Find the two rooms you've been straddling, the one you narrate all day, the one you visualize at night, and don't try to move yet. Don't cross anything. Don't fix anything. Just notice you are between. And notice one more thing, because it matters. The noticing by itself, the plain, quiet act of admitting where you're standing already feels lighter than the fixing ever did. That's not nothing. That's the whole doorway, loosening just from being seen. Which leaves one honest question, and I'm not going to pretend it isn't the real one. If nothing is blocking you, what exactly have you been carrying that's so heavy? Before that turns into homework, because it so easily could, let me take the weight off it for a moment. You are not being graded on the answer. Whatever it is you're carrying, it is lighter than it feels from inside the doorway. And the room you're carrying it toward, the lights are already on. Here is what's actually been happening underneath the tiredness. Attention is rent, and you have been paying it at 2 addresses. Every morning, you wake for one clean moment in the new life. And then, out of pure loyalty, you reach for the old worry. The way you'd check a stove you're sure you already turned off. Every night, you build the new rooms, board by board, exactly the way you like them. And then, before sleep, you go back and patrol the old ones. Check the locks. Check the story. Make sure it's all still exactly where you left it. No one is that rich. No one has enough attention to fully live in two houses. So the tiredness you've been carrying, the one you've been calling failure, was never that. It's a sign you're carrying two sets of keys. Let's do something about that right now, not tonight. Notice one thing you're holding on to, this very minute. Some small worry that's been riding along quietly under this video the whole time. You know the one. Feel its actual weight. Just for a moment, honestly, without flinching from it and without dramatizing it either. Now, for 10 seconds, set it down. Not solve it, not argue with it, not decide it was foolish to carry. Just don't hold it for 10 seconds. Notice, it's still there if you want it back. But for 10 seconds, your hands were empty and nothing fell. That's the whole mechanism in miniature. That's what tonight's practice is going to ask of you at a larger scale. But first, one more thing, because it changes how you'll feel about everything you've just recognized. Most people never even reach this doorway. They're still fully moved into the old house, settled into it, unpacking boxes in it, not yet aware there's anywhere else to stand at all. So if you're here, tired, standing in the doorway between two keys, that is not the setback it feels like. It's proof of how close you actually are. The tiredness people mistake for failure is usually the last mile, and the last mile is the one closest to the lit room. Let that be true for a moment before you argue with it. Somewhere, and you already know what I mean by somewhere, the version of you who already set the old keys down is resting right now in the warm room. Not working toward it, resting in it, and has been the whole time you were standing here reading all of this as effort. So here, tonight, is the practice. It will feel almost too small to matter. That's exactly right. Find the old keys. They don't look like keys. They look like an explanation you always give. A grievance with the handle worn smooth from your hand. A version of your story that begins with what they did. Pick one, just one. And before sleep, standing in the doorway, set it down on the threshold. Not thrown away, you can pick it back up in the morning if you still want it. Just not carried tonight. Notice how the hand feels empty. Notice which foot moves first, on its own. And tomorrow, the daylight half of the same practice. One full day without measuring. No checking whether it's working. No scanning the mail, the faces, the numbers for evidence. Not a discipline, a day off. If the keys are still in your hand by morning, that's all right too. Nobody's timing you. Nobody's grading the pace. The room stays warm either way. The lights are already on.
So what were you carrying that was so heavy? Here's the honest answer. And it's better news than the question expected. Nothing. That's the reveal. The doorway was never a place with weight in it. What you were carrying was a story about two rooms, and the story is the only thing that ever had any mass at all. Let's actually check that instead of just agreeing with it. Try this now, not later, on this very sentence. Notice your attention, exactly where it is. Is it half on these words and half already reaching for the next ones? Or is it, however briefly, entirely only here? However you just experienced that sentence, that was the whole of your attention. Not a share of it waiting on the rest to arrive. All of it. Every single time you check. That's the same attention that was never actually standing in a doorway. It's never once been between two rooms, however convincingly the tiredness argued that it was. Attention doesn't have a doorway. Wherever it lands, it is all the way there. The place called stuck. The place called between. You could never find them, and now you know why. You were never in them. There is no doorway. There never was. Something else was happening this whole time, and it really is better news than a door. A door can be locked. A door can be earned or missed or knocked on and not opened. This was never that. So here, one last time tonight, feel the stuck feeling again if it's still there. But don't let it tell its story this time. No history, no names, just the raw weight of it, held a little longer than is comfortable. Notice what it does when nobody narrates it. Notice that what's left when the story goes quiet isn't emptier, it's roomier. And here, before we close, the biggest thing I have to show you tonight. There was never a threshold to cross, because there was never a wall to begin with. Just an endless, already finished house. Every room already at the right temperature. Every lamp already lit, in exactly the corner you'd have chosen. Windows past counting, all the way to a horizon that was only ever a suggestion. And you not approaching it, not earning your way toward it. Already inside it this whole time, mistaking a door frame for a decision. The room was never behind a door you had to get through. The lights are already on. Next time, the house you can't see. Everyone waits for it. The view first, then the move. I'll show you why it only ever happens the other way. Why the lights come on after the door, never before. We'll move in blind next week if you want it to find you in the dark. Ring the bell below. The bell is by the door.